Hello, everyone, and welcome to Answer the Call, the Star Citizen podcast where myself and usually my co-host Croncy joins me, and we talk about Star Citizen. Usually the current events that are going on, as well as occasionally like a specific topic, like PvE versus PvP. Is this griefing? Things like that. But this week we're going to talk more about the event and the week that went on. Obviously, Star Citizen had a very, 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 very rough launch to 4.2.1 and its event, and hotfixed the servers the entire week. So once again, Croncy will not be joining me today because he is sick and doesn't have a voice. So it's going to be kind of hard to talk on a podcast for an hour or two if you have no voice. He is not sick of the game. He might be. Cannot confirm, but he is sick and he's not going to make it today. So rest up, Croncy, get well, and we'll see you next week. So this podcast will be another short one, like a 45-minute guy, because usually, him and I take an hour, discuss everything that's going on, go back and forth and all that stuff. I'm just going to do my spiel as quickly as possible because I know most of you don't want to hear just me anymore. You want to hear actual conversation. So I'll do my quick little monologue-y type thing of what's gone on as quickly as possible here for you. So let us start out with the hotfix stuff, right? The hotfix stuff is basically what has happened this week. And in case you guys aren't familiar, there's a post, Hotfix Central, where they talk about each hotfix that has gone on and then kind of edit the post to show the current one. Gotta say, since the beginning of the week, or the end of last week, things are a lot better. All of the missions are available, not just the missions for the event, but if you're looking for Ace Interceptor helmets, your, what are they called? Escort missions are available again, things like that. So they have resolved that issue, and it has taken until Friday of this week to get there. The entire week was incredibly frustrating. What have they not resolved? Issues with freight elevators. So what they got information from us, because we're their Q&A, or QA, what the information they got from us was people were putting med pens in freight elevators. People were putting boxes on top of freight elevators. Let me tell you something. I wasn't seeing a whole lot of boxes or med pens in freight elevators. I was seeing random floating cargo and just the freight elevators generally not working as expected. I try to turn in stuff and I only could turn it in at one level. I can't stack anything. This has exposed 100 freight elevator bugs that need to be resolved. I have both excitements for this and concerns for this, right? Okay, we've exposed a bunch of bugs. Are they going to fix them? Are they going to prioritize those? Or are they going to go, all right, the event has passed. People won't be using as many freight elevators. No problem. Like, these issues have existed since freight elevators have existed. They stopped fixing them. They stopped prioritizing them to move on to the next thing. Hathor uses freight elevators. Lazarus uses freight elevators. They just ignored it the whole time until finally they had something that people were completely blocked from doing something by having this thing, and they're finally looking at it. But they did not move at a pace that anybody was happy with around freight elevators for this patch. Now, with the new missions coming in, there's a lot less friction with freight elevators. Well, not the new missions, the missions that were supposed to be there. And basically for the first week, everybody was participating in the event via cargo missions because those were the only missions showing up. The recover, the defend, and the stolen missions, I've been doing the stolen missions, are all available now as of Friday, which is good. I want to say this. I've enjoyed the cargo missions. Many people have not. I've enjoyed them from one perspective. I like doing cargo missions, and I like that there's some actual juicy weight behind them, cool rewards, things that I really want. The only issue I really had with this is the obvious freight elevator stuff, but when it was working, I still had an issue. 4 SCU boxes for everything. Why? I don't get it. It was really, really annoying to move 4 SCU boxes. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. Hold on. YouTube chat, let me move you somewhere so I can see you. There you go. Then, yeah, something with Linux, and gradually they just, over the week, they fix things. So that's the hotfix stuff. When it comes to callers today, which I don't even think I'm in the right Discord for it. I'm not. Kind of interested in hearing you guys talk about that. I need to remove that. There we go. Like, how has the event gone for you in the last couple days? How was it going for you? What do you think should be prioritized? Things like that in terms of the next things going forward. The last, big hot fix of the week out on a Friday. The event out on a Thursday. That's the one for me, right? Is like, why are we still making these mistakes? If you guys didn't catch it, there was a big bar citizen in Vegas that had Tyler Witkin at it. It had Sandy Roberts at it. And it had Sean Tracy. And specifically, I believe it was the Sandy Tyler one, where they talked about how they kind of, everything goes in at the last, not everything goes in at the last minute, but everything comes down to the wire. They work up until the last possible minute on these things. And even Tyler mentioned, like, the other companies I've worked at, we kind of sit on things for months or weeks. And it's like, yeah. Croncy, any thoughts on that? Or, yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, Croncy's camera froze one time. And whenever he is not here, we have him here in spirit with the image of his camera frozen. There's even an emote in the Twitch chat of him deep in thought on the things that I'm talking about. So for anybody who's like, I think Croncy's camera's frozen, it's not. He is not able to make it today. All right. If they like, I wonder, and I don't think the answer is, this would have been better, but I wondered if, hey, they were ready to release on a Thursday. That was when marketing said it has to come out or whatever. I wonder if they held it until Wednesday or Tuesday the following week and did as much testing as they possibly could on that specific patch, hammered it as best they could, and then, did it for real. Or even like, hey guys, we have the event missions on the live servers, but the rewards aren't turned on yet. Or we're going to give you only up to level 1 rewards until, something like that. I don't know. They got to, for me, they got to start treating live like a test and just communicating that. This was a huge freight elevator test, guys. You know what I mean? And then they'll be fine on that front. What else do we have? On this, Xylo commented that some guy was like, please end the event early. This is horrible. Oh my God. No, that's the dumbest thing you could possibly do, because you can extend the event. You can extend the event. And just so people are aware, 4.3 is going into the PTU, Evocati PTU, early next week, or that's their intentions. Okay? So before you get your, panties in a bunch, I think the intention here is, maybe some of you are not familiar with this. I've just asked this question a million times. Some fixes cannot be done in a hot fix on the server side. Some of them have to be a big patch for us. And 4.3, I can almost guarantee that first patch in Evo, or the first couple, are going to have freight elevator fixes, are going to have mission-related fixes, and things around this event, on top of the new stuff that's coming as well, right? So don't freak out about them moving on to 4.3. It probably is a good thing if you're trying to actually get this event stuff done. And what Xylo says here is this contrasts the requests that would like the event extended, because people are more saying, hey, okay, you fucked up, guys. Just don't steal my time and make me feel like I have to rush this thing. Give me enough time to finish it. Many people were just completing the first intro missions for the event this weekend, right? Some people still are. So they're going to need a bit more time. And he says, we have no plans to end the event early. Right now, the priority for the teams is getting fixes out the door and getting things working reliably. Cool. Good communication. Sounds great. Right? Has anyone done all the factions? Yeah, a bunch of people have. I'm almost done with 2. And I've kind of been taking my time. Other thing was a sneak peek that is incredibly zoomed in. There we go. Thoughts on this one? There is a lot of speculation around this sneak peek. First off, ugly. Second, it's the sniper armor. Third, people are calling this Sakura Sun armor because it's got the flowers, very similar flowers to the Sakura Sun logo. Could be. It's concierge colored, but it also could be Wicklow armor, because they said that this thing was going to be in Wicklow. So, yeah. I don't know. But kind of whatever to me. And then lastly, this. Boom. We have an SCL on audio. And I'll stop here because this guy was the kind of star of the show. He's the new director. And he was just wildly going off on, I want to do this, I want to do that, I got all these plans. And he wants to talk to the community a lot and all that stuff. Love the guy. He sounds super awesome, right? This guy sounds super awesome. Big fan so far, for sure, right? Super positive, super excited. Yeah. But plans are plans, and CIG has had plenty of plans, and just deliver results. Now, he's been here for a little while. I think the rain is pretty cool. I think the new gun sounds and stuff like that are pretty cool. I also think nearly everything at this episode is Squadron 42 focused and not necessarily Star Citizen focused. I asked a question about VoIP. It got answered that things that we already know, that VoIP was only good on 50-player servers. And, I mean, it wasn't good then either, guys. Just to be clear, it didn't work then. And they are, they have a fix planned, but Montreal's doing it. None of the guys here were from Montreal, so they didn't actually know what was going on. And, yeah. Audio guy's going to have his spirit crushed in a year or so working at CIG. This is from an Inferno droid on YouTube. I don't think he's going to have his spirits crushed by us. I think he's going to have his spirits crushed internally with all the things that he wants to do not being prioritized and all the things that need to be done for a ship sale, Squadron 42, or whatever will take precedence or whatever. Also, one thing this man mentioned as well is that his number one focus is ships. And that tells me that's where I get the Squadron 42 reference from. I imagine they're trying to get the ships sounding really nice because the ships and I guess FPS experience are going to be the highlight of the game plus music, right? And I think that's why that's their focus. I think that stuff will trickle down to us, but I think it's a Squadron 42 focus that we're going to end up getting. Specifically, the new gun sounds and visuals. I think that's all Squadron 42 stuff that trickled down to us, right? So that's really it for me. It wasn't a busy week at all. It was hotfix, a kind of nothing SCL, a sneak peek, and that's really it. Right? We'll see. But, yeah. So the guy that they hired, because people are asking like where do they get him from? He's from the movies. That's the other reason why I think this is a Squadron 42 focus thing, is because it's from the movies. Why? Oh, on both scenes I have to get rid of this. Hold up. Boop. There we go. He worked on Alien versus Predator. Okay, cool. Yes, I guess some people looked into his background. But guys, if anyone wants to call in and sound off about the event, now would be the time. I'll tell you, while I'll kind of hover mode for a little bit here, for lack of a better term, because we have one person in line. I know it's weird. It's a weird show because it's just me this week, and I'm actually not used to doing this alone anymore. I used to do this alone every week, and yeah, it's a lot harder than I thought it was. I can't believe I did it for as long as I did. But I want to talk about like how I've been doing the event, and I kind of want to put out the question to you: what has been your efficient way of doing the event? That's sort of what I want to know. Are you doing the event? If you are, who are you going for? How many have you completed? Things like that. So just kind of throwing some things out there for you guys to be prepared for when you do call. I have completed Crusader almost exclusively with large 4 SCU missions. It was hell. And I am working on Hurston now, but I am doing the FPS missions. And the raft is not only good for the cargo missions, but it is also really good for these FPS missions, because these FPS boxes are 8 SCU, no 4s, 8s, and they spawn out in the open. And the only enemies that you have are FPS enemies. There's no ships. There's a turret there, but it doesn't fire at you. So I just fly in, I hover over the spot, I get into the cargo, or the oh my god, my tractor beam, and I just scoop the boxes up. It's literally fishing. I just fish for boxes, and then I abandon, and I go to the next one, and it takes 2 missions, and I fill up. It's awesome. So each one has about 80 SCU, and I'm doing 160 SCU, way faster than I'm doing cargo missions. I don't have to find a working freight elevator. And it's an 8 SCU box. I have to move half the amount of boxes when I have 160 SCU. It's fantastic. I know my org mates are doing it a little bit different. They're taking the recovery missions, because those have up to 32 SCU boxes on them, and they're stacking up, getting the entire event done for somebody, or the entire path done for somebody, bam, and then moving on to the next person. Yesterday, they got 3,000 SCU. Today, they're going to do the same, and they're just going to gradually, each day, knock out the event for somebody in each path. Like Frosty in chat said, he's now finished Hurston, which is pretty cool. So, Frosty, if you have a moment and you want to call in on how you guys did it, since I haven't participated on it, that would be cool as well. I'm curious on how you guys do that, so feel free to call in. We got 2 callers in the line right now, so I am going to take my first caller after putting their name in here. And, then we'll go. We'll hopefully have a couple more, and then, again, if it's a short show today, that's fine. We missed, I think we missed 2 weeks ago, and I didn't want to miss another time for you guys. I want to stay as consistent as I can be for you. And, so I just didn't want to miss. So we'll do the kind of impromptu, little messy one. All right, now we got 4. Yeah, we got 4 in line, so we're doing good. All right, I'm going to bring in Certified Gumbo. Gumbo, can you hear me? Oh, I actually might not be able to hear you. Hold on. I have a brand new audio setup. I can hear you now, Gumbo. Let me mic check you.
All right, mic check. Can you hear me?
I do. I hear you loud and clear. All right. So, are you doing the event?
I was. I kind of lost interest.
All right.
I got to tier 3 with Microtech.
And
But
then
I've
you
actually been
realize
out
you
of
have 1,000 more SCU you have to turn in, and yeah, or 1,300 really at that point. No, that's tier 4.
I mean,
Tier 3 is 777, right?
Yeah,
Got it.
777. So I don't know. I think honestly, I was just doing the event for the black armor, but Microtech's not going to get it, and I don't feel like doing it for Hurston.
You don't feel like
Really not
getting
my
yelled
cup
at?
of tea. Nah, I mean, it's just like this event. It's not really my cup of tea. I'm forcing myself to do something that I don't really enjoy.
What's funny is it is my cup of tea, but they've done it like so annoyingly that it's not been fun.
Yeah,
like, the broken part is
frustrating.
one thing. The 4 SCU boxes are inexcusable. I hate it.
It's also frustrating that it is not a multiplayer friendly event either. Like I would enjoy it a lot more if I could play in with other people.
Yeah.
You know, it is an MMO.
Yep.
Like it should be soloable, but it should be more rewarding for multi-crew as well. I feel like it's another thing I feel like in the last few Citizen Cons Richard Tyre has hit it at, and we are still waiting.
Yeah, it's
for
the idea that the boxes are split. It like makes sense because, I mean, if I turn in 2,000 boxes and everyone in my org immediately gets 2,000 SCU turned in as well, it doesn't make sense. And then I think I would assume that like a more complicated system was too complicated to finish in time or something. So they went with this route, and it wasn't the best. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just.
Yeah,
I wish being in a group was more beneficial, but it's at times it feels worse. I guess.
I think that's my frustration with. I mean, most of the events, most of the stuff in the game is frustrating to play with multiple people anyway, and it not getting better is really frustrating. For me at this point, like it's you know, we've been waiting for years for this game to become more of a MMO and a game, and it didn't feel like either one is happening fast enough for me. Like, and I think that the last 2 Citizen Cons did too good of a job showcasing what they are trying to do, and the state of the game just doesn't represent that like at all.
Well, I mean, like at this point, when do we call CitizenCon fake?
I mean, we could start 2 years ago, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I think all of them, honestly. The more I think about it, because I mean, the first Citizen Con I watched was the digital one.
Okay.
That's when I actually started playing the game. Like
21
I backed the
or
game
22,
like,
something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I backed in like 14, but I didn't play until like 2021 during the pandemic. Like I was able to build a PC, and like, oh, let me go check out SC. But like, yeah, none of those Citizen Cons since then have really come to like fruition in the way that I thought they would.
Because I don't think that they were actually showing you finished or like they were showing you maybe prototypes or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't think
setups.
Yeah, like prototypes that are arted up and sound up, like so they look good and sound good, but they're not at all like ready for the game at all. And I think 23 showed us that more than anything, with like radiation just becoming a thing a few months ago. We still don't have FPS radar, sliding, ladders, next patch, right? Like that is all stuff from 23. We're just starting to see now. And I mean, 24, the worm did not come like how it was expected. And yeah, I don't even know what else from
Well,
24.
2023 and 24 are really just updates on Squadron 42. Like they're not really Star Citizen updates. Like all that stuff is probably in Squadron working, but it's not in the PU. It's not in
Correct.
that pipeline.
Exactly. And it's like, but they still use, um, they still use,
That's what was deceptive. That's
yeah.
why it was deceptive, because it was actually in game, like working, and not like a clearly like in engine demonstration.
Hmm.
It's gameplay, but it's not in the PU. It's all Squadron side.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what's misleading about it. It is like, oh wow,
Exactly.
they're actually playing it and it looks good, and
And they're
it looks like
showcasing you
within,
Star Citizen stuff in those
yeah,
events, but it's Squadron work.
yeah, yeah. And then on, so with the event and every, like just how the whole year is going, like I'm pretty like burnt. I'm Evo, and I don't really have it. I stopped testing pretty much in May, but then I had to go out of town for work, and I'm still not like into it
Yeah.
yet. Like I'm not really looking forward to
Why
4.3.
why be into it when, everything that you're doing doesn't really help if they're just going to ship it out there,
Yeah,
before it's
they've
ready.
pushed everything so fast through Evo. It's like, what, well, like why the hell are we even here? Like you should just go wave one, like skip Evo. Like we don't
Yeah.
get enough time to test anything.
I'm at the point where why even go wave one? Just just go
Just
live.
go open, right?
Just
Yeah,
go open.
just
Everybody download it. Everybody download it. The reason they don't do that is because money. Because then everybody who wants to play Star Citizen would be forced to download a broken patch that might not work. That's literally, I think, the only reasons that we have these PTUs is to have less people testing. Believe it or not, because I think it would actually cost them more money. And
yeah.
we obviously don't want them to waste money, right? Because money equals developers, money equals finishing stuff. But yeah, it doesn't work though. Whatever they're doing now doesn't work, so they really need to um they need to make some sort of a change, but I don't have the answer of what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the waves were working or have been working anyway. Like that, I feel like there's too many waves. And I think it shows also in the number of Evos that actually participate, or the lack thereof.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just apparent now that things testing wise need to change.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
there's somebody in
the
YouTube
whole,
chat who's been like going anything I've said, they've just argued it, and they're saying the reason that they don't do that is because the wider you go, the lower quality of feedback you get. Well, that is true. The If the feedback that is quality isn't being addressed, then it doesn't matter anyway. That's the point we're trying to make. Like
yeah, like
Evo
they're
quality
ignoring Evo.
feedback is good. Wave 1 P2 feedback is good. Even towards the end, Wave 3 feedback is decent because the only people left at that point are people who really care in those PTUs. The feedback is good. You could see it. There's tons of bug reports, and those bug reports get
and
marked fixed when they're not fixed, and all that stuff. They need to stress
and
test.
and they honestly get instant feedback in Evo when it stays in Evo longer, because they'll hop in Evo chat and like talk to us like directly, and
Yep.
we can address things like head on, where it's very hard to do that in SC chat,
Yeah.
in the general chat, because that tech, it's flying. But like it's a different experience in Evo testing. Like it does feel a lot more productive when we are able to test and take our time and actually go through stuff and make sure things are working. Like I spend a lot of time just going through and making sure everything that's already implemented works. A lot of that stuff gets missed because it flies through Evo so fast. There's been a lot of instances where things that were working in a previous patch stop working, and it just goes unnoticed because we don't have time to test. Like
Yeah.
we slam the new stuff, and then it is what it is. Like I don't know. I think this year has just been kind of disappointing. It's not even just the 421 like you almost expect it, like, you know, like it this is par for the course at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. Yep. Unfortunately, but I have a plan for a video this week that is like, was this the year of playability? And I'm going to go back and look at all the weeks in review and look at all the footage, look at all the scripts, all the discussions, and be like, what was it like in January, February, March, April, and have things gotten better? And specifically, what things have gotten better? And are they actually prioritizing enough? Are they living up to that letter from the chairman or whatever? And I'm sure, I haven't started yet, but I'm sure my answer is going to be a little bit of yes, but a lot of no. When it comes to Hathor taking up way too much time, Lazarus taking up way too much time. Now this taking up way too much time. This shouldn't have taken up a month to do. It's an event you already had. It's just stupid at this point how wasteful they've been with time. And that's the one thing that they don't have enough of anymore. You don't have it anymore. So stop wasting it. But Gumbo, anything else before? Because we actually have a queue now.
Yeah, last point I was going to make is that the them removing more of the sandbox elements out of this was, I think, a mistake. Like, I understand the wanting to avoid the queuing of people buying commodities and all that, but like, it would have been fun to like do other missions outside of the event related missions, find those commodities just out in the wild and turn them in, like, and you still get credit for it.
Yeah, and they turned them off almost completely, right? They just only spawn in one SCU and stuff. Yeah. Mining is like the critique I have about it is mining should be the most efficient way to do this event, and it is the least efficient way to do the event because the mission team runs the event, not the actual. There's nobody like looking over this going, this is how it should be. It feels like the mission team goes, all right, yeah, we're making the content. This is what the content's going to be, and it's us, me, and then the missions are always broken. And it's like, okay,
yeah, it's that thing Richard Tyler talked about like cohesion, like between the game systems. Like, it's not there yet. It's just, it feels like everything is getting worse in that regard. Like, things feel far less cohesive. Like, I don't see any type of improvement across the board there.
Yeah, true. Well, all right, Gumbo, we'll let you go, man, and thanks for calling in and being the first one today. I appreciate it.
No
It was a little scary. I thought it was just going to be a me and you podcast. All right. Catch you, dude.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right, our next caller is Shark's Bite. Very regular. Back again. How you doing?
I guess it's just you, but I'm not doing too bad. Had a pretty productive day yesterday. Not in game, but you know.
Oh, you can't have them in game right now.
No, I am doing the event. Trying.
Who are you going for?
Do all four. I started with Orison.
Okay.
My next one's gonna be Hurston because they're probably winning. I do want to get
the black armor,
Microtech and Arcorp. Yeah. But yeah, I honestly, after watching the promo video they did, I'm like, honestly, Arcorp's more my vibe, but Orison's so pretty. So that's why I'm doing that one.
Yeah, dude, the skins for Crusader on the raft are so good.
Yeah, well, and I would have a raft if I didn't have an M2 that's going to be turned into an ironclad. The raft, I've seen so many of them. They look really efficient and effective and stuff for moving. But it's just, I have other ships for moving stuff.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue, like you said, was the 4 SCU box thing. Like, if we had the ability to even just buy empty 32s, I would burn the cash on that, throw the 4s into the 32s. The entire reason they moved to larger cargo boxes is so they have less entities when ships blow up.
Yeah.
And then they went back on it.
I know. It's so weird. I mean, I guess it's 4 times more.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, the other thing I said is that I didn't mention. I did one day of piracy, It was so fun. It was so good, and the way to do the event is piracy, like 100%. It's the most
You're just
efficient way.
taking other people's shit. Yeah.
Yeah, because they come more regularly than they work more regularly than the missions work.
And you don't have to worry about their elevators working. You just take their ships.
Exactly. We hit a C2 with 900 SCU of copper. It was a C2 that had a leftover a whole sea mission, I think.
Wow.
Because it was contracted. 900 SCU.
Yeah. I didn't do too bad just doing HRTs. I killed a larger, it was a caterpillar in my F7A, and then had to come back with a ship, but I actually was able to find it with the coordinates that I took down.
Yeah.
So yeah, didn't have any help or anyone to like bookmark it for me, so I actually had to like take screenshots with all the waypoints and headings and everything.
Oh my
and
god.
Then, yeah, it took me like 45 minutes just to get back, but I did, and I moved it all, and I got the credit for it, so that was fun. As far as testing, I think like you were saying, the biggest thing is like even if they say they're testing, but then they're still pushing the bad builds.
Doesn't
Like
matter.
it doesn't matter. Yeah, my background in engineering, one of my supervisors would always say like an hour in the shop, or rather an hour in the engineering department can save 100 hours on the floor. When you push out a bad build, you are costing not just the players, but the future devs extra time going back and fixing whatever all of the fallout was from that bad build that you pushed. And you can have checklists, but if you're not filling out, like if you're not actually marking the things off of the checklist, if you're shipping ships that are not gold standard, that's work you have to come back and do later. Like
NCIG
the
has been
fact that
doing
the
it for
S7A doesn't have
years.
components that you can pull out, the MX doesn't have components you can pull out. Just the things that they keep doing, that it's like you should know better. You've made this mistake before. It should now be on a list. Like
Nope.
rules are written in blood, but also like bad patches are written in blood. Let's see. Oh, as far as the elevators, I don't remember. I thought someone had a thread or something that was like, one of the CIG devs had posted like, "Hey, if you could fix one thing, or like, what's your biggest issue right now? What would you want fixed?" I cannot find it for the life of me, so I don't know if I dreamed it or what. But
oh no, it happened, and then they said tier
it did.
0 item recovery was the #1 requested feature, and it is nowhere in that thread. Nowhere. At least on the first page. Nowhere.
So for me, the biggest thing, like it, and obviously I'm more than most people know, you can't put every single employee on a single feature and say, okay, everyone fix this thing. That's not how dev works at all. But if they could put all of the engineers that have the ability to work on Transit Refactor on Transit Refactor, throw everything else, just move that back. I don't care if it moves it back 1 or 2 patches. I don't care if other features or gameplay or whatever get delayed. If they spent all the time that they could with all the devs that would be practical on Transit Refactor, fixing elevators, fixing trams, fixing the quantum, the ATC, all that stuff, that would pay out for literally years in every other aspect of the game.
Yeah.
And that's something that I hope they're doing. I know that he said like, oh yeah, when the transit guy last time they talked to him was like, yeah, at this point it would have been worth completely rewriting it instead of doing it. So maybe that's what they're doing, but we haven't heard. So I'm waiting for the Benoit thing whenever he's going to be on next.
Yeah, but talking is talking, doing is doing. So
yeah, it's true. I guess the only other thing I have is I'm still doing faces. I do like that they're putting in normie hairs. I hope that they finally get one for me, where it's I have long hair and curly, and so the longest hair they have is still mostly straight, but it's getting there. They're getting closer.
yeah, one or what is it, like 2 or 3 hairs at a time, basically, is what they've been doing.
Yeah, I just wish that they would, just like every other part of the system. And I made a huge thread about it and I sent it in, and shoot, now I'm blanking on his name. The tech guy who did the interview at in Las Vegas.
John Tracy.
Yeah, I actually sent him the thread and he went through and he forwarded it on to the dev, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, Sean's
But
cool as hell, man.
yeah, but the fact that they don't have the like facial hairs broken up into zones where you can change the mustache individually, change the chin individually, change the sides individually, it's a little bit of extra steps to cut it up, but it would give you so much more customizability and it shouldn't add that much more data to the character file.
I don't know.
And same thing with colors, and same thing with the fact that you can't change the position of something without changing the way that it looks or the shape or the size of it. That's just I'm on the one hand, it brings people to me. I'm still doing them for donations and stuff. But because it's so difficult, it means that like people can't use the system, and that's not a good thing, regardless of how many more faces I get to make because I've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, all right, Sharks.
yep. Hey, you take care.
You too, brother.
Look forward to the videos this week, and thank you again for doing the podcast, even though you're by yourself.
Yeah, of course, of course. Hopefully the video's good. We'll see. I have to go through it. I'm thinking about trying to do it that way. So
yeah, well,
if it's
I
not
look
a good video,
forward
I'm
to
just
it.
gonna make it.
Really quick, there is a tool you can use to take transcripts from YouTube videos. I think I just Googled like YouTube transcriptor.
No,
It
yeah, I
makes
know
stuff
that one.
searchable.
Yep.
Yep, and that way you can like organize your video a little better.
Okay. Thanks, Sharks.
Yep, take care.
Bye now. All right. Next caller is Frosty. What's up, Frosty? I asked Frosty to come on specifically because he had just completed it with our org, completed the event with our org, and I just wanted you to explain how they did it. But
yeah,
feel free to talk about whatever else you want as well, right?
Yeah, so how we did it was basically we got someone who paid a lot of money to CR, who bought a Polaris, and basically we just kept on doing the large cargo retrieval back to back basically. So we had someone in the turret, someone being the cargo bitch, and obviously the pilot. We just kept on just doing the missions back to back, and then filling up all the cargo, and then going in and offloading all that stuff. And I think we got around 3,000 yesterday, and today I'm unsure how much we got. I think it's around 1,000.
Yeah.
And we only did like a few of them, but yeah, 1,000. Yeah. So yeah, I was able to completely finish out Hurston. I think I got around 400 and something yesterday, and 300 and something today, and that finished out Hurston for me today. So I think at the start, I think the group stuff was just couldn't do it. Obviously, we had to just figure out how to do it efficiently. I think that's the only way to do it efficiently as an org. But yeah, and obviously we all throw out how much people need to finish it. I think just focusing on Crusader and getting everyone to tier 2, I think, at the moment.
Cool.
But yeah, that's the most efficient way to do it. I think.
I still feel like solo is.
Yeah, there's different ways, yeah. But
yeah, like I turned in
with the bigger boxes, yeah.
I turned it. I think I turned in what 160 some odd SCU, and it was 15 minutes. And I wasn't looking for freight elevators or anything like that. It was 2 missions. So I don't like.
I just think
again, that's like the weird thing with the event is it doesn't matter if playing as a group is efficient or not. If it's fun and that's what you want to do, just do it that way. But like I specifically didn't join today with the org because I was like, I need to get this done. I can't. I don't want to keep streaming myself with banging box sounds for 7 hours, 6 hours a day. You know?
Yeah, true. But I think how we did it was just the quantity over doing it with the elevators and all that stuff. Because obviously it's got bigger boxes as well, so you can fit a lot more in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think solo how you was doing, I think that's probably the best way to do it.
Maybe, as long as you can get the missions, but then as people figure that out, they're going to be competing over the missions, and it'll just be.
I just think whatever way you do it, there's there's at least one roadblock CRG puts in front of you to for you to wanting to do the event. But yeah, overall, I think it's they say they did all the changes, all this stuff, and I don't think for the elevators, they definitely knew there's going to be a problem, and they still went ahead with it. But yeah, I think with the other stuff, with the hot fixes, you made stuff worse, and they're just being.
I don't get how we could have possibly gone this entire year doing events that required CZs we didn't mention require freight elevators that were fucked the entire time, and like they never fixed it, and now this is what it took. Like, again, I don't care what it took. I'm happy that we're here now, that hopefully they're going to address stuff. But if they address it just in the short term, just to appease everyone, and then, go back to whatever cooperative zones are, which are definitely going to use freight elevators too, then, we got a real problem here that needs to be addressed. So it's like every single bit of content you have done this entire year needed a freight elevator, and you never fixed them. Why? Why now? I don't need to know the answer. It's a rhetorical question, but it's like that. It's just sharing that frustration. It's like, guys, come on, please.
Yeah, like I said last weekend, I think, after this, I'm not touching a box ever again.
And it's what we do.
At least, yeah, I know, but it's just the fact is, we have to go to these lengths just to try and find workarounds and all this stuff to move boxes, and they stick them to 4 SU boxes, which I don't understand why, because people can move
because
more.
A lot of ships can't handle 8 SU boxes.
Oh, I'll get them to get them on the petrol to buy some more ships.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you can rent a raft for $70,000. Like, it's just not an excuse. Just tell people to rent a raft.
I bought my raft in game for like $3 million, so it's whatever.
Yeah, I bought mine in game too.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, they need to rethink all this stuff, and any events that are now coming in the future, if it even touches outposts, elevators, scrap it. Think it again. Think it through again.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anyone after this will want to be doing anything like this again until they actually fix those issues and actually prove it that they are fixed.
I think you're just speaking for yourself there. I think a lot of for the remaining callers, like, is this event your cup of tea? Like, if you look at the event from the outside, not the actual experiences you're having, but what the intention for the event was, I feel like this, out of all the things they've done so far this year, is a majority of. I think it resonates more with a larger portion of the player base than everything that they've done so far. It's not perfect, but it is not so PvP focused like everything else was. And I think people, dude, look at how much cargo's turned in. Is it the rewards? Like, people like it, dude. People like something about this. It is mind-blowing how much stuff has been turned in.
Yeah, I think the only reason is that because they said all the rewards and stuff and what will happen afterwards.
Yeah,
he's probably went into people going straight for Hurston. But yeah, I think my best event for this year would be Hathor, to be fair, for me.
Yeah,
because there's a little bit of mining, PvP, PvE. It had all the elements together. But with this, obviously, he's hauling, but he just turned me off basically with all the issues.
Hathor was sick. Maybe we have recency bias right now. Hathor day one was so good.
Yeah.
After day one, it was shit because it didn't work. But the idea of Hathor day one, and now it's kind of like dead. It's just there. But
I mean, I just use the Hathor locations just to gun loot all the vault weapons and that. So
Yeah.
you know, I don't interact with anyone now. All I just do is just kill NPCs and get the weapons. But yeah,
True.
that's it for me anyway. So
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. Appreciate
no
it.
problem.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, Frosty. Catch
Bye
up.
bye.
All right, and Chorizo is next. Chorizo, can you hear me? Going once. Chorizo, you're muted. There you are,
Well,
unmuted.
my bad.
All good. I can hear you now, buddy.
Sweet.
So, what do you want to talk about?
This event has been definitely my cup of tea.
Okay, cool. Who are you earning for?
I mean,
Who are you representing?
I'm representing Hurston Dynamics right now just because I want to get the black armor.
Fair enough. Who?
But
if you could only choose one, who would you choose?
I would go for Crusader.
Hell yeah. Yeah, me too. Why?
I'm doing well. I think the paints are awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's actually I finished Hurston Dynamics this weekend, and that's I'm going to be focusing on Crusader.
Nice. I did Crusader first, and now I'm focusing on Hurston, and then Microtech, and then ArcCorp if I can finish it.
Yeah, if that's the big that's the big question is if you can finish it.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it. It's not if I have enough time; it's if I have enough patience. I think.
Yeah, I will say that after this event, I never want to hear a box
Bang.
hit anything.
Yeah,
that sound has just been engraved in my.
And the SCL people asked about that, and they didn't quite get the question. It's like, do you not understand that this thing just radiates in your brain like constantly?
Yeah, it's
all
not a good
the
sound.
time. Yeah.
But I mean, I think this event has actually been one of the best events in the game that I've played in, outside of all the bugs and all the issues. I know that at the beginning when it first launched, people were really complaining about all the issues that were going on. When in reality, they weren't really design flaws; they were just bugs.
I mean, design flaw is 100% using the outpost for the cargo missions. And I think that was exacerbated by the fact that those were the only missions available.
Yes.
If people had other choices, guess what nobody would do? The cargo missions.
Oh yeah.
So, and it was because of the outpost, I think. I think a lot of people would do cargo missions if they were able to get up to 32 SCU boxes in a distro center, for example. They would do it. But because they can't, they won't.
Yeah, this patch has been probably the patch that I've bought the most in-game ships. I mean, I bought a Raft, I bought a Star Lancer, SRV, I even bought a Mantis again. Just because of there's so much. I mean, you don't have to just do the cargo missions. They finally fixed the Mantis from what I heard, and I bought one, and sure enough, they did actually fix the PvP interdicting, and I was able to snare several people one night outside between the Pyro Jump Gate and Hurston.
Oh, okay.
And I even got a C2 that had like 528 or something. It was an insane amount of copper. All 32 SCU boxes.
I don't know if you heard, but yesterday or 2 days ago, we got 900 SCU of copper on a C2.
Yeah, yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, I want to do some more piracy in my own time. It's fun.
It's been fun. I mean, I'm somebody that I enjoy doing everything that a lot of things in this game. I really like mining. I don't mind cargo hauling with friends.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind engaging in PvP every now and then. And this event seems like it would be perfect for, they left the door open for PvP engagements to be able to, I mean, they fixed the Mantis, they fixed PvP interdiction. But they also, they made it so you get teleported the second you get into Armistice Zone. So if you were to steal somebody's like C2 and you want to fly that ship back into port, you're going to get teleported away from it, and so you've got to go do all this. That's actually why I bought the Raft, is because at one point I got teleported out of a ship that I had stolen, and there was so much cargo, and it was actually the C2. There's so much cargo in there, and the only way for me to get the stuff out was to buy a Raft,
tractor it out,
and tow it. Yep.
Yeah. You know what I was trying to do, and I was so close. I grabbed an SRV, and you know how like when you're in nav mode, your shields are down? Well, you could tow anything that has its shields down. And I was hoping for somebody to be loading their raft at an outpost with their shields down. And I had a guy that was ready to do it, and the freight elevator broke. And I was just gonna wait for him to put that like almost that last box on, and he's in his Atlas. You know, he turns and looks one way, and then all of a sudden his ship is just floating away. I wanted that experience just as like a goofy, funny thing, just like a trolley thing. But the thing that I was gonna say is a lot of the PvPers were not happy with the teleporting thing, and it is like, it's such a bad band-aid, but man, is it nice to be at an outpost, have your hangar doors open, and know that you're gonna be okay to load that cargo at the outpost, because that's the real design flaw, is that I have to basically expose myself to anybody who wants to do harm to me at that location, and there's basically nothing I could do about it. You just end up in a standstill, and it's like, am I gonna log out, or am I gonna like just self-destruct, or like do I just like lose to you? Like what do I do here? Like there's nothing I could do. So from that standpoint, it's like really nice to just be safe, to do whatever you need to do, and then get pirated. But I also understand, like, man, there's been really funny YouTube videos and cool like tucking experiences that people just don't have anymore, which sucks as well. So, yeah,
I agree. Yeah, there was towards like I think it was the first week when it was really bad, and and you couldn't even do like the intro missions.
Yeah.
What I was doing with a friend is I would post up with the Mantis about 20 kilometers over one of because everybody was funneled into one location.
Yep.
And so I think we were doing it over Microtech, where we were over SMO 18 or SMO 22, and we would wait until somebody was like in a raft or in a cargo ship, and I would have a buddy down there kind of scanning them in like something that was not threatening.
Mm-hmm.
And the second we found somebody like, all right, this guy has several loads of copper, the commodities that we needed, we would interdict them, or we would dampen them when they were flying out. But there was one situation where we got his ship soft death, and we were so far up above the moon that we were not being pulled down by the gravity.
Hell yeah!
So
nice.
we were way out of the armistice zone, kind of just like baited him out as much as we could. But what was really frustrating is after we soft deathed the ship, we tried to go inside. We got teleported to the little ASOP terminal down at the outpost where he left from, which is insane because we were well beyond 20 kilometers above that location. We were still teleported.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, so just while you were talking, somebody said that they were like they love hauling, but they didn't want to deal with the 4 SCU boxes, and I just said, oh, go do the FPS missions. I think you'll really like them. And I had mentioned that there's no turrets there. I lied. There is. Oh yeah. There are turrets at the derelict outposts. There were turrets but the place, there's like named places. There's a turret there, and they don't shoot.
There's last night I did one. It was it's funny. The place is called Broken Patch, which is exactly what this is.
Yeah. Did the turret shoot you there?
Yeah, they took out one of the engines on my raft. But the funny thing is that it's a missile turret. So when I showed up, it didn't shoot until I got like right before within range. So if you fly in quick enough and close the distance on it, you're safe because they're not going to shoot you if you're sitting within a couple kilometers.
I had
just because
I forgot the name of it. It began with an L, and I just was able to go. It was an forward operating base. And I just got to stand over it and just collect, and I had no problems. So yeah, it was weird, but yeah. So
the only other thing I want to say is I'm a big mining person.
Yeah,
I love mining. I love mining in the prospector. Or oftentimes I'll jump in with my buddy on his mole, and we do some multi-crew mining. This event, I mean, as much as, and I have been doing some mining, but it's such an RP to mine for this event because it is, I mean, you have to do like 120, like assuming you could get after refining and losing, however much you lose to the refining process, you got to do over 100 hauls in the prospector just to do one of these factions completion.
Yeah,
And
it's way too hard.
I just feel like how they have the missions where they credit you for more. I think it's the ground missions where you only collect maybe 5 boxes, but they credit you like 50 boxes.
Yep.
I feel like they could have done something like similar to that for mining. Maybe if you were to instead of submitting the refined goods, like if you could submit raw copper, raw tungsten, it would be worth more because maybe there was like some reason that it was better for the regen crisis to have that material in raw. But I don't know, I feel like they could have done something to make this a little bit more viable for miners.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely didn't mind doing it in the prospector, but I definitely mind doing it in the mall. I did not enjoy it in the mall. It was like it really highlighted the fact that like, whoa, I am scanning so much more than I'm mining, and we're on like low level material, right? We're not even looking for Quantanium here. And it was not fun, right? Like,
yeah,
oh, it was brutal. I mean, I imagine working in a group as for mining would be more. If you did, maybe that's where the multi-crew stuff works. Is like if you did mining, you would find stuff more easily and just everybody scoops.
You do.
That might
Like
work.
we did mining with the mole, and I actually jumped into the Star Lancer, and that's why I bought the Star Lancer. Actually, is what I loaded it up with a bunch of Argo bags, and I was just swapping out my buddy's bags.
Hell
and
yeah.
if he found a big bag, I would jump in. If he found a big rock, I would jump in the mole and help him crack it. And we would do that, but then as that's very efficient. But then you go back and you refine it, and now you still have to split whatever you got. So it's you're still
True.
that splitting negates any efficiency that you may have gained.
Yeah. But I was more saying like the group aspect is the scout and everybody just mines up. Scoop up, scoop. You take what you get and just everybody keeps going. Once you're full,
Oh, I see.
Go turn it in, start scouting again. Hey guys, I got a big field of copper here. All right, cool. And everybody just comes over, scoops it up. But I don't know if that's more efficient or not. I just know that that's kind of how we were doing Quantanium, and it went really well when we were doing Wicklow turn-ins. And I mean, again, we've done over 10 Wicklow Polaris worth of quant for other orgs and stuff. So it seemed to work well, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's just straight up raft cargo missions, and that's all I've done so far. And piracy.
Yeah, that's definitely the most efficient way is right now is with the raft. Which honestly, I don't mind the 4 SCU boxes.
I hate it, bro.
When you pair it with the raft.
It was brutal. It's brutal. I don't want to do it anymore. When there's better. I guess maybe it's when you know there's better. It's awful. Maybe if I didn't know any better, but
yeah.
All right, Chorizo. We'll let you go.
That's all I have.
We'll go to the next one. Thanks for calling. First time or no? I can't remember.
First time, yes.
Hell yeah. All right. I thought so, but I wasn't sure. Thanks, man. And hopefully we'll hear from you again soon. It's a good call.
For sure. Peace.
Bye. That was fun story time with piracy. I like the pirate stories. They're always fun. All right. Our next caller is Mr. Smurfenstein. What's up, dude?
I am so tired of moving boxes.
Hell yeah. I know. I feel you there. So
God.
Who are you turning in for?
Right now, I'm doing ArtCorp. I already did Hurston.
Okay.
I go back to work tomorrow. I was on 2 weeks ago, and my kid was just born. You might hear her in the background crying right now.
Yeah.
I go back to work tomorrow, and then I leave the state for 45 days, a week after that. So I'm like, I don't want to spend my time doing this, but there's that FOMO.
You have to.
Like, yeah. And my wife has been amazing. She's been like, yeah, go play your silly space game. You'll get the time later.
Yeah.
And like, to give you an example, yesterday was our 4-year anniversary, and she was like, yeah, you can go play in the morning. And I was like, okay, cool. I don't want to take 3 hours doing this because we got to go to lunch. I was 4 SDUs away from tier 4. And I was like, okay, easy, fucking sweet, let's go. I did, I think I'd try to do a large cargo haul in a raft. Elevator was bugged, loved it.
Of course.
I was like, okay, cool. Large, what is it? The cargo ship recovery, where you're like fighting PvE in space, and skill issue. They blew up my Hornet, so I was like, they didn't kill me though. So I just started coasting through space to the Hercules.
Yeah,
I managed to get in it quantum away, and I was like, cool, I'm safe. I got to fucking ArcCorp, and the ship just despawned around me, and I was left floating in space with nothing. And I shut the game off, and I was like, I'm so done.
Yeah. I'm just thinking right now that your wife is collecting debt.
Yeah, no, she totally is. She absolutely is.
You're gonna have to repay at some point.
Yeah.
I'm just replaying what would be happening in my life, and it was like, oh, you remember that time I let you play? All right.
Yeah. Yeah, she has had a couple moments. She's had a couple moments over the last few weeks where she hasn't been like, get the fuck off that computer, but she's looked at me like, hey, you want to come hang out with your kid? And I was like, yeah, let me just, because it's Star Citizen, I can't just log out in the middle of a quantum jump. I got to go land at a fucking outpost or whatever and like get out and log out. It's like, there was a while ago, there was an update. I think it was the tier 0 stuff, and you were asking yourself whether this is like your game or not anymore. And one of the questions I continue to ask myself that is not something that's necessarily being addressed is the amount of time it takes you to do literally anything in this game is kind of annoying.
It's
like
so
just to get to my ship is like at least 15 minutes.
Yeah. Who's smashing keyboard? He's moving cargo right now, all right? Leave him alone. He's trying to get his stuff done.
I am literally in PvE combat right now. I'm dogfighting right now, like as we're feeding.
Nice.
I already got the nod from the head nod from the wife to be on this call. So I was like, I'm going to maximize my time and try to get some more cargo moved. So yes, I am clacking away on my keyboard. I apologize for the listeners.
Oh, well, tell your wife she's a legend.
Oh, she is. She knows. Like when we went out to lunch yesterday, I realized like they asked us like, you want to sit inside or out? And I realized I looked at her because like, whatever you want to do, man. Like whatever you want to do, I'm going to do. I don't care. But yeah, this is. I don't know. You were asking if this is our cup of tea, and on the surface, I'd say it is. But just on the execution,
of course
I'm so tired of moving boxes, man. Like,
yeah, for sure. I love moving boxes. It's just, I mean, I don't want to move boxes for half an hour straight. Yeah. I want to like move the boxes, get them in the freight elevator, go get some more, move some, like, you know what I mean? Like I want to do logistics. Yeah. I don't want to be like, we call it box bitch, like in our org. Like I don't want to just be the box bitch the whole time.
Actually, I need to ask you a question because I've heard rumblings of this, but I haven't really looked into it. And I do have an org that I'm a part of, but for whatever reason for this event, everyone's been just kind of MIA. I've heard that if you do it as a group and you share the contract, people only get like a couple SCUs credit for those
Some of them are broken. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the defend missions.
Yeah.
Correct. It's a bug. It's supposed to split equally.
Because this would have been so much better if I just had like one other person, you know, to help move. And one thing that has been good about this, I'll say, is I've had more positive interactions with random players than I've had negative. Just people helping you move boxes at landing zones, just because they want to get you out of the way.
Exactly, and
that's been kind of cool.
Again, the pad ramming will get you banned. So like they're pretty good about banning people for that, and they have done the teleport thing. I was talking about that earlier. Yeah. Like as bad as that teleport thing is, there are definitely positive results from it. And look at what's happening at Outpost now. People aren't being assholes. Now I have seen people like yoink the cargo out of other people's hangars and stuff, but that's more rare.
I was gonna say
than anything.
Because I know you like I know you've made comments like you know strategic marketing ideas, and I'm not saying this is one, but it is kind of interesting that they released that Prowler variant right before this event, and like most of the times I've been quote unquote pirated.
It's by one of those
hovering.
guys.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And then I'll just the first time it happened was actually kind of funny. Because the dude only managed to get away with one single SCU box, one SCU box, because I was just pulling them back off of him. I was like, no, stop, come here. Yeah. But yeah, I know I'm like the last time I was on, people were like, oh, he's a bit of a dead gamer, and I know I'm probably gonna call this again. I promise you I'm not. But one thing I will say that is kind of like an olive branch of understanding to the people who are like, no PvP, is it is really annoying to be fighting this game for an hour and 40 minutes because of all the bugs and the poor game design decisions, and then just to have a guy like blow you up and you can't do anything about it. It's like, I really don't want to play this. This is like, I don't have any options. There's nothing I can do other than really like help me.
I'll
give you money to kill this guy.
I get that. I still think, like, obviously it's been nice to pirate people as well, but I feel the way you feel when I'm at the outpost. But the second I'm out in open space, I want to feel, scared. I like feeling scared.
This is the second only event I've ever been like, I kind of want to try this. The other one was, what is it, Supply or Die, the one that was in Pyro. It was basically like the same thing as this, kind of, for those like black and green or graffiti skins. And there was an incident I had where, like, I was in a C2, I was traveling to the Pyro Gate with full of fucking cargo. I got interdicted and I got boarded by a team of people in multiple ships. And my first reaction was that, like, my first mental reaction was like, fuck PvP. But then I was like, you know what? No, think about it. You were flying alone. You didn't even have a fucking FPS weapon on you. You were unprotected. That's entirely your own fault. And that's what the way of the game is. I was like, you know what? As annoying as that is, I cannot be annoyed at the players or the game, because that's part of it. That's just my fault for not taking the proper precautions to be prepared. I was like, okay, that's fine. But again, I don't have a problem with the PvPers. I get it. It's just, I wish the game didn't have 40 bugs I had to fight to then have to worry about a guy who wants to take my shit. Like, I'd rather just be like, hey, I'm here for 5 minutes. I loaded up my cargo. Okay. He's up there waiting. I have A, B, and C I can try, and he has these options he can encounter. That would be, it's got to be chess, and this isn't chess. This is just like, I'm going to stand at your door with a shotgun.
Yeah, for sure. So there's two people that typed about this discussion while you were saying it. Mm-hmm. One person says, this is from Twitch chat, Mr. Blastman says, please remove Armistice and let players solve their own problems. Thanks. And then another one says, group up. And it's like, all right, I think it's the most recent video on the TV channel that I made was from Noobs Gaming, huge cargo hauler. That's all he does. He loves it. And
I watched the video.
Yeah, and showed his experiences there. So I'm not going to dive into it too much. For you two, go spend some time watching that video, because I went into detail on how I feel. I'll do my best to keep it extremely short. Grouping up is economically stupid in this game, because you can't pay the guy all for just standing there. It's boring as hell for them to stand there and do nothing, and most of the time you don't have these interactions, right?
Yeah.
The Armistice Zone existing, this was my experience being pirated. I leave an outpost, and all of a sudden I hear the shots. Oh shit. I do the same thing that was in the video. I turned around and got back into Armistice. Okay? And they go, pay me $250 or you're not going to get out of here alive. And I said, no, I'm getting out of here alive. And they said, no, you're not. And I said, oh, yes, I am, because I'm sitting in Armistice Zone. So while I'm in Armistice Zone, I went in Gen Chat, said Pirates at RCorp 150, 157 if anybody is looking for some PvP. Bam.
Yeah.
People started showing up. And the Armistice Zone allowed me to just wait up and group up with somebody. So grouping up is the appropriate answer, but I can't group up before it happens. I need a system in the game and a way for people to get to you quickly enough that when I am running into a problem, that I have the opportunity to call for help potentially. And again, I don't think an Armistice Zone is the right answer. I am kind of agreeing. Please remove Armistice Zones and come up with a better solution. But just removing everything and having it open, I lose 100% of the time there.
Yeah.
And this time, I got out with all my cargo. Those guys ended up in jail. And then I went and pirated myself after for fun. But I did exactly what every pirate tells you to do. Oh, well, if you're having trouble, call in friends. And they were all confident that they were going to survive, and they didn't. And that's fine. It was fun, and that was it. I got out. And,
I mean, that is a good point.
But
to the group up,
the Armistice Zone saved me.
Yeah. I would like to see, instead of it just being a blanket, like, you can't fire here, like, I want to see, and I know AI NPCs in this game are, challenging at best, but hopefully Hopium, once they work properly and you can rely on them, like AI guards and infrastructure there, like they have the bunkers when you fly over and you get shot at by AA guns. Like, if you want to pirate here, maybe you land and you go blow up the guns and then you get back in your ship and you can pirate. And then that way people who are like, hey, this guy's over here blowing up the defense turrets, maybe we should, like, speed up a little bit and get out of here. Something like that.
Or hack them. Or when you're in monitored zone, the turrets are really more accurate, and when you're not, then they're not. Something like that. But.
Yeah, there was actually, because I watched that video, and there was something I was thinking, because I'd had a moment where I got interdicted by the Mantis. I do think there should be some kind of like you shouldn't be able to just turn that on. Maybe you can. I've never flown it, but you shouldn't be able to just turn that on and leave it on for however long you want. There needs to be like a cooldown, like it uses a power drain or something. So like, hey, we've got 5 minutes to get this guy before my interdiction bubble shuts itself off. Like we gotta do something here, and that way that gives the victim of the piracy a chance to be like, if I can just dodge these guys for however long, I should be able to get out of here.
Yeah,
because it does seem like as soon as I see that red bubble, I'm like, cool. So I'm not going anywhere for a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Like that was part of like the Mantis is not good, but when it's Mantis against cargo hauler, there's nothing you can do. So it's like, what do you do here? Maybe something has to change just slightly, if anything, right? It can't be a guaranteed loss every single time, ever. And I do think the grouping up part is the biggest equation here. Is somehow making that easier, like.
Yeah, there has to be like a movie glass app or something.
Well, even something like the social thing from CitizenCon this past year, like I type in chat Pirates at Arcorp 157, and you literally just right click set destination on my name and start flying.
Yeah,
right.
I can see like a.
I'm not talking about anything too crazy.
No, absolutely. It would be so easy for me to just be like, need help, requesting help, this location, here's the amount of money, and that way I don't have to worry about like finding the guy and then like getting his name and transferring the money. Be like, you just accept it like a contract, like a bounty mission contract, and then you just show up and fight. That would be a lot nicer. But one other thing I wanted to, and I know last time I was on, I said I was the optimist, but I'm going to complain here a little bit about Star Citizen. I know it's kind of a taboo thing to do. There was a Star Citizen Live they did a while back with the narrative team, I believe it was, and the question was asked about doing like one-off narrative missions while you're in alpha, and they're like, oh well, you don't want to stop the narrative or stop developing the narrative just because the game's not finished. And I thought that was such a crazy take. Like,
yeah, because it's literally preventing it from finishing.
Yeah, you shouldn't be doing like one-off narrative events that are impacting the future of the game when you haven't finished the game. Like, that's so crazy, because you're gonna have all these people that want to wait for Star Citizen 1.0 to come out and to try it, which is a very valid thing to have. And then they're gonna be like, cool, well, all this stuff is like this way. Why is it? Oh, because a bunch of guys that spent $5,000 2 years ago played because an unfinished game and complained about it, and here we are. It's like, well,
their argument's going to be that, well, these will be repurposed in 1.0 and they'll be used for the quests there. And
I guess I'll put it out there. I feel personally like if this event had gone off with no bugs and everything was perfectly fine, I don't think Hurston Dynamics would be so far in the lead. I think because from my understanding, like, because I was there day one,
Hurston works better because there's more freight elevators.
That, and then like, wasn't there an issue with the opening contract for each company where like a lot of them were bugged and a lot of people just happened to get into Hurston first?
Orison specifically was bugged.
Orison, right? I feel like it's kind of unfair to have a competitive collecting mission for your team, but your team's thing doesn't work. So Hurston Dynamics is, let me check right now because I'm literally in the game. 130 million SCU, and the next closest is Microtech at 82.8 million. Like, and then ArtCorp is 55 million, and I feel like that's a little unfair because you had a busted launch. Like, you know what I mean? Feels like some of these guys started the race with a broken tire.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I think just making decisions like that in a game that isn't finished is a bad idea.
That's why I was stealing cargo from Hurston and bringing it to Crusader. It was the only way I can finish any Crusader missions because Crusader's free.
I was doing that I was doing that once I finished Hurston because I was like, I'm already my home spawn is Hurston, so I was like, I'm already here. I'll just go grab these and then fly over there and drop them off.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, also I was the one in your Twitch chat. Was it Thursday that brought up the Battlefield 6 trailer? I watched it. I am very excited.
Hell yeah!
I'm a Battlefield stan, and I was very hurt by the latest releases. We got to see how this multiplayer trailer looks, but I'm kind of there. But yeah,
fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully, they're moving in the right direction, and a lot of the comments I'm seeing are what I want to hear. So,
hell yeah! Well, all right.
Yeah,
go make it up to your wife. We'll catch you later, Mr. Frankenstein. All right, bye now. All right, and our final caller is very simple. Eric. Welcome, Eric.
How's it going?
Good. You got a fancy mic, Eric. You sound good. How's what do you want to talk about?
My general thing was just why is CIG obsessed with cluttered UI? They could simplify the so something I deeply want from this game. I'm sure you do too. You've probably thought about it. Is at freight
Croncy's
elevator.
deeply thinking about it.
Oh yeah, definitely. At freight elevators, instead of showing you every box that is there, like say you have however many SU of tungsten, it should just have tungsten on the list.
Yep.
And then you select tungsten
and say how many you want.
Yep. And the size you want.
Yeah. 100%.
Like how is it not
Yep.
that simple? Like I've just been playing a ton of Death Stranding, and it's they do that. And it works so good.
Death Stranding is one of the only single player games I have finished on stream since I started streaming 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was because it was so
fantastic.
easy to play.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
But no, that was generally it. But as far as like the event goes, I have attempted to start the event twice. I don't have a lot of time. I have a 5-month-old. So playing video games that I can't pause is
hard, yeah.
is dangerous.
Who do you would have wanted to work for?
The first time I attempted ArcCorp. The second time I attempted Hurston.
Yep.
Both times for the intro missions, the freight elevators are broken and cluttered with ships, just blocking everything.
Yep.
So nothing worked. So both times were like I logged in for about 20 minutes, attempted it, said I can't waste my time doing this, and just left.
Yeah. I feel like each mission is like 45 minutes minimum, with the waiting and I got to find a freight elevator that works and all that stuff. It's brutal.
Yeah. And I can't spend the time like going to one, oh, this one doesn't work, let me try a different company. And then that doesn't work. I just wasted all that time.
Exactly. No, just play Death Stranding.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, do you have anything else, or is that where you wanted to leave it?
No, that was really it.
Okay.
I hope someone listens to the suggestion as far as like doing, because it would clean up so much of the user interface for the inventory across the board. Like do it for everything. Why?
Yeah.
I just don't understand why there has to be 1,000 entries on a list and you have to go through and select everything that you need instead of just selecting one thing and then
no idea.
It just doesn't make any sense.
No idea. It's very frustrating. And what's funny is on the like cargo terminals when you're buying cargo, it's done the way you say it. But when I'm in the freight elevator, it's done differently. It's like, make up your fucking mind here, guys. What are we doing?
Right. But why can't I go take cargo from, like, say if I get cargo from illicit means and I want to break that up into different portions for whatever reason, why can't I send that down a freight elevator and then have it break it out however I need it and then bring it back up? Like it just, I don't know.
Because ships and selling them are more important than everything else. Because I feel like if the UI and most teams were focused on our experiences, then the game would look a lot different than it does now, and we would have maybe 50, 60 less ships. And I don't think the game would be bad for that. We just would have less money, I would imagine. But
hopefully they get there. And I'll expose my daughter to this horrible video game.
Poor girl. All right, Eric. I'll let you go, man. Be good. Yeah, appreciate your call, man. Have a good one.
Yep, you too.
Bye now. All right, that was Answer the Call. So I do appreciate all of you guys stopping by and watching today for sure, especially because it was just me. I know the extra voices are really, really, really important. And it's why we made the show in the first place. So I'm glad we had so many callers today. I was really worried it was just going to be me and maybe one or two callers. And I just hope CIG really I say this every patch, man, but it's always something different, right? Like, I hope CIG really takes this in and doesn't just do PvP stuff, right? Because you don't want to lose the PvEers. And now it's like, all right, I hope CIG really takes this in and understands that, like, 4 SCU boxes are horrible to move, and like, outpost freight elevators are totally inefficient and not good at all. Maybe landing restrictions for freight, outpost freight elevators for small ships. But hey, the fact that I was like at peace when on the ground was really nice. What do we do about that? There's so much to take away from this event about everything going forward. Like Hathor, CZs, Lazarus, all interesting events, all very FPS focused in a lot of ways, right? Sure, there's some ship combat at some of these things, but very FPS focused. Whereas this event and Save Stanton or Supply or Die, I think, were very much focused in the, like, when I have a base, this will be a lot of my experiences. When I'm crafting, this will be a lot of my experience. When I involve myself in the economy in any way, this will be my experience. And when the experience is as bad as it is right now, it's very refreshing to see that people are noticing it. It's the top of the priority list for everybody's frustrations right now. So I hope what this takeaway from this event is that, like, this really, really impactful experience, hangars and freight elevators, is something that has to be prioritized, has to be nailed down for the advent of base. Like, imagine base building with this. Imagine having crafting and base building with this experience. Like, I fully expect people to, like, base building comes in, the influx of players is going to go way up. Crafting as well, I'm assuming they're going to come at similar times. The experience cannot be bad or this bad. It has to be like, oh, all right, it's an alpha, but, like, it's fun. Like, this is not fun at all. So hopefully they address it, right? I don't want to say not fun at all. Like, I've obviously had some fun, but it is so broken, right? And I hope they do it. But yeah. With that, as always, I got to do the thing. I got to do the thing. So hit the like button, subscribe, all that stuff. Check out myself and Croncy. Croncy, I'm sure, will be back next week when his voice comes back. And I think we'll be able to talk a lot about 4.3 and our experiences there and so on. So thank you. Follow us on social media and all that stuff. And I really do appreciate you guys watching today. So thank you so much. And don't forget to answer the call. Bye, everyone.